According to the National Electrical Code, dimmers can be installed under accessible subfloors if certain conditions are met. Firstly, the dimmers are specifically listed for underfloor installation. Secondly, the subfloor is accessible for inspection and maintenance. Thirdly, the dimmer is mounted on a solid surface that provides adequate support. Fourthly, the dimmer is protected from moisture and heat. Fifthly, the dimmer does not obstruct any air vents or ducts. Dimmers can also be installed in accessible attic spaces as long as they meet certain requirements. Firstly, the dimmers are mounted on a solid surface that provides adequate support. Secondly, the dimmers are protected from moisture and extreme temperatures. Thirdly, the dimmer does not obstruct any air vents or ducts. Additional considerations should be taken into account. Both subfloors and attics can be warm and humid environments. It is important to ensure adequate ventilation to prevent overheating. The access panel for the subfloor dimmer should be large enough to allow for easy inspection and maintenance. All wiring should be routed and secured properly to prevent damage or short circuits. It is recommended to have the lighting control system installed by a licensed electrician to ensure code compliance and safe operation. Installing dimmer panels under a subfloor or in an attic space is generally acceptable if the specific requirements outlined in the NEC are met. Proper ventilation, accessibility, and wiring are crucial for safe and effective operation. It is important to understand the NEC requirements and considerations for installing dimmers in non-traditional locations. Subfloors and attics present unique challenges such as temperature fluctuations, moisture, and accessibility limitations. Dimmers generate heat during operation, so adequate ventilation is essential to prevent overheating and potential fire hazards. Ensure the subfloor and attic spaces are well ventilated to dissipate heat generated by the dimmers. Consider installing ventilation fans or vents to improve airflow. The access panel to the subfloor dimmer should be large enough to allow easy inspection and maintenance. This is crucial for troubleshooting any issues and performing necessary repairs. Position the dimmer panel in a location that is easily accessible from the access panel. Route and secure all wiring properly to prevent damage or short circuits. Use appropriate wiring methods for the specific environment, such as moisture-resistant cables for damp locations. Secure the wiring to the framing members to prevent it from sagging or becoming damaged. Consult with a licensed electrician to ensure that the installation complies with all applicable codes and regulations. A professional electrician can assess the specific conditions of the subfloor and attic spaces and recommend the best installation practices. They can also ensure that the wiring is properly sized and protected, and that the dimmer is properly grounded. Choosing dimmers that are specifically listed for underfloor or attic installation is important. These dimmers are designed to withstand the specific environmental conditions of these locations, such as moisture and temperature extremes. Follow the manufacturer's instructions for installation and maintenance. Consider the load capacity of the dimmer when selecting the appropriate model. The dimmer should be rated to handle the total wattage of the lights that it will be controlling. Overloading a dimmer can cause it to overheat and fail. Inspect the dimmer panels and wiring regularly for any signs of damage or wear. Replace any damaged components immediately. Keep the subfloor and attic spaces clean and free of debris. Dust and dirt can accumulate on the dimmer panels and wiring, which can reduce their efficiency and increase the risk of overheating. Installing dimmers in subfloors and attics can be a convenient way to control lighting in your home, but it is important to do it safely and correctly. By following the NEC requirements and the considerations outlined above, you can ensure that your lighting control system operates safely and efficiently for many years to come. Remember to always prioritize safety when working with electricity. If you are not comfortable performing the installation yourself, hire a licensed electrician to do the job. The National Electrical Code, or NEC, is a comprehensive set of standards for safe electrical installation. It's updated every 3 years and provides guidelines for everything from wiring methods to grounding requirements. Adhering to the NEC is crucial for ensuring the safety of electrical systems and preventing electrical hazards. When installing dimmers in subfloors and attics, several NEC articles are particularly relevant. Article 300. 4 addresses protection against physical damage. This is especially important in subfloors and attics where wiring can be exposed to physical contact. Article 310 covers conductors for general wiring, specifying ampacity, insulation types, and installation requirements. Selecting the correct conductors is essential for safe operation. Article 404 pertains to switches, including dimmers. It covers installation requirements such as grounding and enclosure types. Article 406 addresses receptacles, cord connectors, and attachment plugs. While not directly related to dimmers, these components may be present in the vicinity and must be installed according to code. Article 408 covers switchboards and panel boards, which are often used to distribute power to lighting circuits. These panels must be installed in accessible locations and meet specific clearance requirements. Article 547 applies to agricultural buildings, but the requirements for moisture and corrosion resistance can be relevant in some subfloor and attic environments. Article 550 addresses mobile homes and recreational vehicles which may have similar wiring configurations to residential homes. When selecting wiring methods for subfloors and attics, consider using non-metallic sheath cable, also known as Romex, or electrical metallic tubing, or EMT. Romex is suitable for dry locations and is relatively easy to install. EMT provides better physical protection and is suitable for damp or corrosive environments. Ensure that all wiring is properly supported and secured. Use cable ties or straps to prevent the wiring from sagging or becoming damaged. When making connections, use approved connectors and terminals. Ensure that all connections are tight and secure. Grounding is essential for electrical safety. All metal enclosures and equipment must be properly grounded to prevent electric shock. Connect the grounding conductor to a grounding electrode, such as a ground rod or a water pipe. When installing dimmers in damp or wet locations, use weatherproof enclosures and fittings. This will protect the dimmer from moisture and corrosion. Provide adequate ventilation to prevent the dimmer from overheating. Install ventilation fans or vents to improve airflow. Regularly inspect the dimmer and wiring for any signs of damage or wear. Replace any damaged components immediately. It is important to note that the NEC is not a substitute for professional judgment. Always consult with a licensed electrician to ensure that the installation complies with all applicable codes and regulations. The electrician can assess the specific conditions of the installation and recommend the best practices. Proper installation and maintenance of electrical systems are crucial for safety and reliability. By following the NEC and consulting with a professional electrician, you can ensure that your electrical system operates safely and efficiently for many years to come. Consider using LED-compatible dimmers. LED bulbs have different dimming characteristics than incandescent bulbs, and using a non-compatible dimmer can cause flickering or other problems. When installing multiple dimmers in a single location, ensure that they are properly spaced to allow for adequate ventilation. Consider using a dimmer with a built-in fan to improve airflow. If you are installing a smart dimmer, ensure that it is compatible with your home automation system. Follow the manufacturer's instructions for setting up and configuring the dimmer. When working with electricity, always take precautions to protect yourself from electric shock. Wear insulated gloves and shoes, and turn off the power before working on any electrical circuits. If you are not comfortable working with electricity, hire a licensed electrician to do the job. Remember that electrical work can be dangerous, and it is always best to err on the side of caution. Improper installation or maintenance of electrical systems can lead to electric shock, fire, and other hazards. So, prioritize safety and consult with a professional when needed. Building codes often dictate specific requirements for electrical installations, including those related to dimmers. These codes may vary depending on the location and type of building. Be sure to check with your local building department to determine the applicable codes for your project. In addition to the NEC and building codes, there may be other regulations or standards that apply to your electrical installation. These may include energy efficiency standards or safety regulations. Research and comply with all applicable regulations to ensure a safe and compliant installation. Subfloors and attics often present unique challenges for electrical installations. These spaces may be damp, dusty, or difficult to access. Take these factors into consideration when planning your installation and choose appropriate materials and methods. For example, use moisture-resistant wiring and enclosures in damp locations. Provide adequate lighting for safe access to the dimmer panels. Consider using a wireless remote control to operate the dimmers from a more convenient location. When planning your lighting control system, consider the overall energy efficiency of the system. Use energy-efficient LED bulbs and dimmers to reduce energy consumption. Install occupancy sensors to automatically turn off the lights when the space is unoccupied. By taking these steps, you can create a lighting control system that is both convenient and energy efficient. Electrical safety is paramount when working with electricity. Always follow safe work practices and take precautions to prevent electric shock. If you are not comfortable working with electricity, hire a licensed electrician to do the job. Remember, electricity can be dangerous, and it is always best to err on the side of caution.